Yo. I guess we're doing this again. What's going on? Hope everybody's having a good day today. Welcome back. We're going to be programming again today. I'm going to be building my full stack app, Bitter Linen. Bitter Linen, right? It's a clothing resale site or business that me and my girlfriend run, where we try to provide you guys like vintage clothing and products at a pretty affordable rate compared to where like people mark up vintage apparel. We try to keep it pretty affordable. So last time we left off on implementing the database, getting that started up. That's pretty good so far. Um, we created this engine, and then this base declarative base, which we can use in our Pydantic models. Or I'm sorry, which we can use in our SQL Alchemy models as like type validation for or inheritance for our classes. I spent 3 hours cleaning my PC. Too many viruses, which you've been searching. Anyways, so yeah, we have that, and then we have a session, right, which will actually create a local session via our session maker given our engine and yield that session back to us until it finally closes. So this is what will be called in the dependencies of our API. Um, hey, Natty Santis, I haven't said that in a while. How's it going, dude? Hey, Tim, welcome back, my man. Hope you're doing okay. How's it going? What's everybody been working on? How's everybody holding up with the programming? Controversial title. Okay, let's keep rolling. So, I think it's a good time for us to test out um, our program. So let's maybe write some tests here. Um, so test is actually going to be on our server, which are here. Okay, so what we're going to need to do is so we'll install PyTest, and then let's just see if we can write up some tests here. So let's just do I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'm just gonna do a main.py. And then from PyTest, or we're gonna say, we import PyTest. And then we define at PyTest. Or wait, is it, I forgot. Let me quickly open up the PyTest docs. Okay. Um, okay, so we just have a function with PyTest raises, okay. And then PyTest raises group. This is what I'm looking at right here. Okay, so let's go. Um, we're gonna, I guess we'll say, well, this just, we have our product here, which is this. So this is not what we need, not what we're focused on here, no. We have our model for our product, which is the SQL Alchemy table model. And then we have our schema here for our pedantic schemas. And then base is related to our engine, so we know that product gets generated here automatically into our table or into our database. Okay. Let's get some feedback here. Let's get like a plan here. Your conf test.py should eventually provide fixtures like engine session client. Well, maybe maybe we can just do it with. Let's go ahead. Let me open up my Docker here. Okay, let's go ahead and create a new container. Images, I have Postgres image, so containers. No containers are running. Okay, well, let's make a container. Column, search only running containers. Why am I not assigned it? Hold on one sec. Okay. It's just this fast. Why can't I just create a new one though? Volumes. Oh, here we go. So we want to let's create a volume. This is gonna be bitter linen Postgres. Create. So then, how do I create a container on top of that? Okay, so let's go to our images. Let's just run an image. Okay, here we go. That's how you do a container. You just run it on a new image. Okay. So container name is bitter linen PG ports. Oh, so this is paths. Okay, interesting. For different volumes. Okay, and so people hosted data. Okay, got you. So we can run. Oh, what happened? I got rid of my thing now. Okay, so you can't. Shoot. Trying to figure this out for both for Docker volumes. I only do it once every so often, so I always forget it every time. I already graduated in 2021. I'm 27 years old. Okay, so we have an image for Postgres. We're going to run that image. So I have to give environment browsing Postgres. Here's run this image. Database is uninitialized and super. So let's see what this error is meaning. This error means there's a refuse to start because it required a password for the super user. Gotcha. So we have to specify that in the variables when we run the new container. So this will be wait, is it PG user? Also Postgres user Postgres password. Okay. I think we got it running here. So now we have this container created. Right. We have the container created. So if we go here, so there's our Docker container that's running, right? Okay, so now we have that spun up. We just need to run our Fast API app here, I think. So let's do unicorn. Oh. Okay, so we got an error here. No eventual server from server. This is in. You can put it in the server as product router. So here we're going to go product schemas.product. Create. So inventory. Title status, cost of goods size, condition, brand, category type, source, required measures. The pricing comes in later. Creature product. That's going to be tied at the inventory level. Okay, so we'll probably have a pricing table itself actually that we'll use. Okay, so create product, opens our inventory, blah blah blah. Great item successful. So I'm gonna say, let's get rid of this, print data. So we're gonna print data for product create here, see what we get. And then we wanna do shoot. So say, okay, so it's, this is error pedantic unknown type for schema support. It will generate pedantic core schema for class, models, enums, product states are arbitrary. So, model config. So arbitrary types allowed a true in model config to ignore this error. Implement pedantic core schema on your type to fully support it. So let's say select arbitrary types to true in our schema here for model configuration in, what was it for? The enum. For schema gen, no, not the enum. For what? Product read? It's gotta be on here. arbitrary types allow true. Here. Okay, so that bypassed that error. Now we can get our server up here. So let's go to, let's run docs here. Okay, so this is create product here. We need this information to create a product. So if we try it out, we pass these values to create a product. So these are just UUIDs, okay? Just generic ones. So then if we send it, we get it here, right? So it generates a product, right? So we need to take our product router, right? It's generating a product here. Hello. Hey, Kyle, how's it going? Yeah, I have the domain for it. Hey, Skewy, how's it going? This is pretty similar to what I'm doing at work. What are you doing at work, Skewy? Thanks for being here, everybody. Let me know what you're working on, what you guys are learning. If you guys are studying programming, let me know. Thanks for everybody for being here. Hey, Jessen, welcome in, dude. Flow state for the 200 joules. Oh, sent flow state for 200 joules. Thanks, Jessen. Appreciate you, dude. That's awesome. Okay, so we have create product here. So what we want to do is let's go ahead and let's create the product here. So what are some things we need to do to create the product? Well, we need to generate, we need to, well, the product gets validated via this data here, right? So we would need to generate a item number, or a, it's not an item number, it's called a SKU number for this product, right? So if we have product or server, we have this product class here, and this has tied to it just the functionality for generating a pricing object, right? And stuff, all that jazz. And some validations, like checking cents to dollars functionality for the product. We have some some special methods for hashing, equality. We wrote this a long time ago. So what we're gonna wanna do is we wanna generate a price, right? So if we generate a product, it's kind of, I feel like it, right? We gotta think about this a little bit more. We don't wanna load the data into a product class, right? And then that would generate the pricing dictionary. But I feel like we could just take the product self format pricing dictionary given a for sale price and then return back the value of that via the product class that we could do, right? Because that's just a class method for this. But it takes a specific class instance as a parameter, right? So maybe I make it a static method. Well, if in sold platform here. Well, no, this is price. Sorry. default format, default pricing is a static method. So we can just use it and call it outright to return back the pricing model, and without actually loading all of this stuff and checking it all with this validation. But because this just lowers the title. Okay. That's not really what I want to do, because the title gets generated via the so we could alter this and just have it intake the intake information from product create and schema, right? We could have it just take in the intake information from product create, which is product base, and then it would because we have to pass it, we have to generate an internal ID and pass it, right? We need to, I think these are gone, status gone, so we need to update this. This is kind of invalid here right now. It doesn't have the pricing dictionary, so let's just not worry about the pricing dictionary yet portion. I feel like that'd be easy to incorporate later, maybe. So let's just focus on let's just focus on getting the ID generated, and then getting the product saved into the actual product table, right? And then we'd have to generate a listing as well on the creation of this product, or no, an inventory item, because, and then that's where we need to generate the table, and that's where the pricing would be incorporated. So okay, but we can get it set up for now. So let's just go to our product router here. So we need to generate the SKU number for the product. I have this script already written. We just need to reformat it. So actually, I think it's a lot easier than how I wrote it initially. And so what we're gonna do is, sorry, I'm doing a lot of thinking and planning, but this is the only time I get to do this like work. Okay, so we generate the SKU number for this product, and then what we're gonna do is evaluate if it's available or not, right? Via a poll from the database to understand if this product is there. So we'd have to find okay, so I have the script I wrote. I think is a lot more robust than what we need. I think what we can do is just do alpha string. I can abstract this out later. Is oh, what was it again? Because you can create like a generator. I saw that. I saw this trick. You could create like a generator or something, and then pass the generator, like the preloaded generator, into some sort of into the string creation. So like it'd be SKU string is equal to a string.join, right? And then you take the iterable and pass it here, which would be alpha string, and then you take the pre-string is equal to would be alpha string plus the numerical string, right? And so then we have num string here. And so alpha string would be, so you join pre-string together here. But it would be a generation of random values. But I guess you could probably shorten this up via because this just joins them. Because then it's a random dot. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Random dot. Is it choice? Choose a random element from a non-empty sequence. No, that's where you pass something and it chooses. Sample, shuffle, uniform, get state, gamma various choices, get rand bitch choice. It's I saw it somewhere. It's the random dot. What is that? I'm annoyed that I don't know. Can't remember this. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, got you. So you do this. And you also import string. Okay, so you do a, right, you join, right, you have to provide I was right on the choices part. You provide choices via the population is string dot ASCII lowercase, or we'll say ASCII uppercase actually, sorry. Right, so that'll give you the alpha string, but we have to provide, I think, a k value for number 3. Then we can take a numerical string, which is random dot choices of a string dot or I guess we just do a range, right, up to 9. We want to include 9, so up to 10. Choices, does that have to take in a population supports length and get? Okay, cool. Wait, choices. And then we also do a k of 3. So now if we have this, so these return a k-size list of population alpha list. So these are lists, right? And then you can't join them together, I guess. You just take, or you would, or I guess you could concatenate them together, but then this would join them into a single string. Okay, and then it would just print this Q string. The way I did it before was way worse. I saw this on like a reel or something. Now let's see if this works. Let's execute this. Dang. Sequence item 3 expected stir instance int not found. Crap. Sequence item 3 expected. Int not found. Uh-oh. That's not good. Type error. Sequence item. Expected stir instance. Int not found. Expected stir instance is not found. You guys are probably seen it already. ABT 109. Okay, we just have to cast the integers to a strings, I think. That's why. So we'd have to. This is. I can't cast. What I have to do in all. I can't. I don't think you can throw a stir with an iterator into a stir cast. I don't think that works. I think it's just a single thing. Maybe, oh, it takes object. Can we cast the full thing with an object? Let's try it. Oh, you can. Oh no, but it ASCIIs. Crap. It converts it via ASCII. Can I modify this with a parameter? Create a new string object and give it encoding errors and specify it must be. There's got to be a way to how to stop stir from converting int to ASCII. Oh, why is it doing that then? It's not standard. Huh. Why about if you stir arrange choices? That's true. What's going on? Oh, okay. There is something in string. There's a dot digits. Apparently. Doesn't look like it though. Is it integers? Digits. There is a digits. Okay, cool. It's just my formatting. Okay, so then that should work. Right, and then you have to that should do it, right? Store digits. my skew string? I don't know. Ah, cool. Alright, so that is our skew string that happens here. So we have the skew string. So now we just need to check to make sure that it is not already existing, right? So we'd have to say, while true, we're going to do this. And then I think we're going to have to match via, so we need to pass in a database here. Or I guess we pass it. We're going to pass in a database eventually, but we want to have a temporary instance put in params. Eventually. Okay, so the database instance database is we have from we need a session, right? So it's going to be from database dot session import get db. So call get db here. Right, so return back our session. And then what we're going to do is call database dot so we need to call this. So we have to say database dot get so we need to type hint this so it knows what it's getting us, right? Session from where's session at? SQL Alchemy Orm. So if we type it this as a session, can we get access to the get? And we want to get, so via, I guess we're gonna have to schemas.product import. This is product create, so we're actually gonna have to also do from models dot product import product. So we're going to get the entity of product identity of how do you do this? I forgot. Let me look up an example here. Are you using some sort of version info with the API? Version info. What do you mean, my friend? Sorry. Hey, Tamerland, how's it going? Just started learning JS a month ago. Awesome, dude. You probably know more than me. How does async work in Python? Is it what's its model? Does it have an async runtime? I'm not really sure the underworkings of how it was built, but just does what typical async does, like with the it doesn't not synchronous like calls to certain functions, and with it can have multiple pings and return back the pings like get back to the call of it, without having to stop waiting for the next one, I guess. I um Skewy says, can we avoid checking ID if it already exists in the table by creating it from a combination of datetime user ID? Um, no, it's more specific pertaining to the system I'm building, as in like it's just a simple SKU. Now, I just decided to do it this way. That has a UUID associated with the actual database row, right, for this product. But this SKU is just you know, the uh, the personable representation of this product, and how we can quickly access it. We don't ever access the UUID. It's just too long and too random. It has really no pertinence to or meaning to us. Now, the SKU would probably be better if we generated like, if you're more specific in your products, you probably maybe want um like at least like a year maybe hidden in there, like a date like coded encoded in there and somehow. But for my purposes and my girlfriend purposes of this product, we just need some random digits that aren't gonna, the likelihood of them duplicating is pretty fairly low. So we just did like a 6-digit code, three letters, three numbers, and we're just letting that ride, something simple. And so that's how we're tagging items as we receive them, and find in their locations or whatever. So we have this SKU string db.get product. And so I was trying to look up here an example of session.get SQL Alchemy example. Um, Session get example for primary key value. Retrieve products with ID 1. Yeah, it's the simplest way to retrieve a one value by its primary key. Oh, so you get it by its primary key. Okay, so if we wanted to instead get by a different key identity. So its identity is going to be the SKU, right? We're going to get the SKU, right? So if we get SKU, oh, but this is via primary key. So you'd have to do that. It's just by primary key is for this identity parameter, actually. So you have to do a product get. So this would you do a get? Session get only works with primary key. What does the scalar method do? Is a convenience method that returns the first column of the first row from a query result. Then what is he? Gotcha. Okay, so you would actually take a db dot, or you'd have a statement, which is equal to, right, which is equal to a, the select would be, so we have to import from SQL Alchemy. The select statement, so select, we're going to select product table dot where, and we'll say where SKU is equal to, no, you don't say it like this. You say it with, you pass in a clause return expression. So you do product dot SKU equal to quote the SKU string. So, and then you would do a db dot execute the statement. So that would execute the statement, right? Okay, or you can just use this shorthand, because this provides you, right, result, which is like a list. And so instead we could do this method here, scalar. So this execute statement will return a scalar result. Scalar Python value. So this would, we would insert the statement here. And then this would be found SKU, right? So we would say like, if you return something from here, right, then so if not none, if the return value of db.scalar statement it's not is not none, you say not none, right? I thought. What is not? Can't say that either. I forgot. I haven't run this in a while. Like exactly, like you could embed some hidden codes or something in the SKUs or whatever. So if you get a return value of the statement, so right, it's this, and it would return back your product. So if products, you're going to you're going to say, you're going to raise, you're going to actually, you need to do it again. So if a product continue, right? So SKU already taken, again. So else you have a skew now. So can we break once we have a skew string and I guess you would just add the product to the database then, right? So it would just be as simple as db.add to what? Place an object into this remember session, objects that are in this session. Instance. So then if you say, what is a session dot add for adding data to the DB? Insert and attract into the session, right? We have product create, which is data here. Expecting product create. Cool. It's really a simple, oh wow. It's pretty simple as in just data. And then you just session commit. So then a module named engine in session.py. From engine import session. Why does that not work all of a sudden? Why does that not work all of a sudden? No module named engine. Holy error. Okay, so no PQ wrapper available. Can I import CM windows? That queue not found. What? Why is this not working all of a sudden? Also, I don't think we're connected to a database or anything. So it's trying to call. It's trying to call. I think our database. So let's do pip remove this, and then let's install we're going to install the binary package. Now if we run server, object type has no length. Oh, so our enum potentially needs a dunder length special method. Object of type has no length. Max length for length for self enum. So do we have to provide in the product enum a type is no length. Is there a dunder length? I thought there was a dunder length. Yeah. I don't think we can't pass in the self though. But we have to define the function. No, you definitely do this. What, do you return the number of values in here? Five? No way. No, that didn't work. No, it's max length. One of your enum entries is a Python type, not a string value. Oh, so you just have to provide this stir enum. Oh, but it's a wrong import here. It's from enum, import enum type. Sorry, we were importing the wrong module. But you still have to give stir here. What if I got rid of stir? Still works. Okay, so now we get back into here. So if I create a product and execute this statement, ooh, generator object is no attribute scalar. Is DB not a session? It yields back DB. Would it not be? I barely use yield, so is it not received like this? Okay. The yield makes DB a generator function, that's right. Okay, so I guess we can import, we don't have to wait, I guess. We can import the depends here already. So let's just do this then. So the depends is going to go here where we have DB is going to be a session, which is equal to a dependency on the call to get database. So that'll give us a session, right? And then, or a database that now we can pull from here. Oh, your auto commit true is no longer accepted. Connection failed to server, port 5432 failed, cannot receive data. Connection refused. Okay, yeah. So we need to start up a how do we connect to the Docker running container again? So we have our database URL in there. Our create engine is already getting the database URL. We take so we have a container running for Bitter Linen right now. Oh, it's not on any ports though. Stop. Okay, let me just delete it. Oh shoot. Okay. What's the so let's do this. We're in here. We have so we do Docker volume ls. These are our volumes. Bitter Linen Postgres. So we're going to create a volume with Docker volume create. Okay, we already have it. We don't need to do that. Oh shoot, we need to do that. So then you take this. Oh my gosh. So then you take a Docker run this here. Bitter Linen. I think it's PG. Or volume. Okay, there it is. And then we go Docker PS to verify that it's open, which it is on Bitter Linen database. So now we can connect to it via the PSQL. And now we're in here, right? So we can do like select all from products. relation products does not exist. So I believe we need to establish relationships, right? Because it's for the. We're gonna write this important notes. Oh, I think it might be actually there's capitalization. Whoops. Select all from products. Line one relation products doesn't exist. Oh, so okay, so we would add here, I believe, right? We have our middlewares. We do. So we need to do from database dot engine import base. We also need to do from models dot product import the product, and then we're going to need to do the metadata. So it'd be fast API, right? That's create database declarative base session. So in main, we do base dot right create all given the engine we have. Based on metadata. So then could you include it in your main? Okay, so you actually can take this and throw this up here, but you also import products, so it knows about them from imports, I guess. So you from models.product import product. I guess so it just knows, right? So if we were to restart the server here, I don't know how to get out of this thing. Wait. I don't know. So we can't get into this. I don't get it. Where? Let me open up my other project. Probably wrong. Docker Compose. Has this in it. Right, DB pass. DB name. this would be Docker compose up. Right. It runs. So now if I go into this V&V to kick in here. Come on. Corn. Reload. Connection refused. What's going on? What the heck? Where is it? Oh, okay, so let's do this. And then we want to do DB name. Alright, so if we do that, bitter linen. So compose up. Okay. On our server. These are Postgres. Oh, because we just did the. Okay, so let's do. Let's do. Let's do the. The. Because we have the name. Why is this so difficult? So we have name. It just can't connect. So we need to go back to our Docker here. Stop this. Let's delete this. Delete forever. Go here. Docker compose up dash D. Fails running quote value. So it's going to find that. So there we go. Everything's server. It started. We're in there. Okay, so now if we're still getting fatal. Password authentication failed for user Postgres. So it's trying to sign in. Failed authentication for user Postgres. So it's saying, I think it's trying to sign in automatically under like a different user. Let me delete this thing forever. I don't get why it's doing it from the start though. Okay, so let's just do. Oh, I think it's because it's quotes. I think it's because it's quotes. Is it? I'm not sure if it has to be in quotes. Like this does. I think it does. Why is this so frustrating for me right now? I don't think so. Okay. So now if I run oh, not in here. Why am I not my environment? Already in use. Is that different? What's over here? Oh my gosh. Get out of here. Get out of here. Starting over. Okay, so this should cd server here. It does that annoyingly. Like it'll automatically, like, look, like, see, if I cut it off, it has problems. So now, so this doesn't work. So if we go docker compose up D here, and then we run here, we still fail. I thought that there is, my YAML's clean. Their linen looks fine. Close out Docker PT and test the execution. Okay, so let's see. We're still up, right? Okay, yes. Still up. So if we try to test out our database, connection to the socket doesn't exist. Postgres user doesn't. Role Postgres does not exist. Because it's not there. It's. I thought that is the user Postgres. Docker exit user Postgres. Role Postgres does not exist. I don't know why it's providing that, because I thought I have this as a environment variable. Okay. Okay, and then we can do, this is DB page. Okay. Products does not exist. Cool. How do you get out of this? Is it /q? Okay, so now if we go hit it with this, password failed for, okay, what is this? So it's obviously this still. Connection to a server, port 543 failed password authenticate failed for user Postgres, multiple connection attempts failed, all failures were password authentication. So it's definitely password related here. So SQL Alchemy doesn't know how to get our password. So if we go to our engine for getting env for database URL, which I guess maybe is wrong in the environment variables. Postgres bitter linen at localhost. So maybe this is the user right here. It's supposed to be Postgres password at localhost / bitterlin for name. Is that where it's supposed to be? Okay. I think we maybe got in there. Foreign key associated with column products type ID not findable types, which could generate foreign key. Foreign key associated with column products.type ID could not find table types. Okay, cool. So because we don't have that table established yet, right, I don't think it's gonna let us do it, will it? No, it still runs, but not probably will break on us. Yeah, because we don't have the table made yet. Okay, so we are going to, what's everybody? Hey, Hami, how's it going? Hey, Sedant, how's it going? Welcome in. How are you going? We're doing, we've been building this full stack app out we started it like a year ago. We stopped. Now we're coming back to it now that we're in our new place and can kind of build it out again. Okay, so now we need to establish these tables for these other so we'll do these kind of foreign key relations. So brand.py, right? Which is just me from database.engine base. So this is me class brand. Takes in from base, which I did under table name. Right, which is equal to quote brands. Right, we're gonna have UUID we can just kind of copy this a little bit. Or ID column. That's all we'll give it for right now. Don't need to get too crazy with this. From SQL alchemy dot. Oh, that's the UUID we're looking for. Oh shoot, which one is it? Oh, import U in the UUID big one, okay. Brand. Okay, so yeah, we're importing the UID module and accessing UID4 there. And UID is the Postgres dialect. Okay, cool. So we have table brands here. Gonna copy this basically over into a new file called product. Other foreign key relations to product are categories, type, and sizes, and sources. Okay, so we have categories, category.py, category takes it from base categories, right? We just have that, that's fine. We have, what was it? Type, size, and source. Sizes, source, sources, types. Okay, that's good. So now let's see if that'll. Foreign key associated with column product type ID could not find types, which generates a foreign key to product column ID. Okay, so then type class. If we go to our main py, import model.product. We need to import all of these guys into here to be seen, right? So brand, category, size, source, ooh. And then type. Okay, so, hey, we hit it there. Let's go. Okay. Nice. Let's see if we get one here. We don't have any of these in there though. So it probably won't be able to create a product without certain categories and stuff already in there. Ah, shoot. Testing becomes hard because we have to build out these tables a little bit for their, at least their, we need to build out instances of them in order to create products, right? because it's expecting a certain brand ID, but there is going to be no brand ID with that one watch. So if I try it out, execute this, we're going to get an error, right? We got a server error here. Product word is not mapped. Okay, so so I generated this error SKU1 to this. So it tries to insert that SKU and we couldn't find it. Right, so it generates this. Oh no, this is the echoing it's doing. It's echoing, right? And then we're getting a 500 error. I think that this is because of I'm trying to input any schema to the database session. Oh. Oh yeah, you have to dump out the mod. Oh, that's right. Shoot. Oh, we can just do this. We don't have to do that part yet. So let's just go back to our router here. Let's just dump out the data. So we have to do, we didn't even do anything with our SKU, you goof. We have to do, how did none of you guys catch this while I was doing it? Come on, you guys, pay attention, pay attention. I'm gonna blame you guys, it's not me. It's not me. All right, data, we have to do .model dump, right? So we're gonna model dump. That'll dump out the data into a dictionary basically, which will be product here, right? We're going to add to product, quote SKU is going to equal to the SKU string that we generated, and then we're going to add that guy. Ah, shoot. Product is not mapped still. Let's print out the product. Here. Here's the product right here. So prints, and then trying to add, get problems. I think that it's because of the table relations. Right, I think that this is because for foreign keys, no. Where data is a pydantic model, product creates SQL sessions going add ORM models. Oh, goofy guy. Wait. Where is ah oh, so it's not mapped. So my product, maybe it's my model looks bad. So if I go here, this is what my model looks bad for my. Do I need mappings on this? So we have to just wrap it into this product and dump it out from into here from our pydantic validation. So if we go to our router here and we have models product imported already, right? So we're going to, we have product here. We're going to do product. We have model dump here, skew, and the, yeah. So we're gonna do a product of the dumping, the unpacking of the current product, and then we're gonna add, we'll just say this is P, for lack of a better variable name, and then we can add P into here, right? And then we can return P back, but we probably need to refresh, so db.refresh on P, something like this. So if we reload, okay, refresh, try it out, execute that. Integrity error. Insert or update on table products violates foreign key constraint. Product brand ID foreign key. Key brand ID blah blah is not present in table brands. Let's go. I think we got it. I think we got it here. Now it's the foreign key issue. Okay. Okay. So do I need to specify the relationships anywhere? No, you don't need to specify SQL relationship fields or database to work. relationship is an ORM convenience layer, lets you navigate objects in Python without. One actual brand object. Okay, so you could get the brand object that directly relates to it, and then query for the first product, and then get the brand dot name. So you can just chain it. Oh, okay. So because it's just working in Python object. So you get this object, right, which is your database object, and it so happens to maybe have a relation to another database object. Well, now I can just chain my method calls or property calls to get various properties back of the the chained foreign key relationships if I wanted to get quick for like my ease of program coding. Okay, cool, cool, cool. So it's more of like a programmer's choice to be able to get a chain of properties associated with potentially a chain of table relationships. Yeah, relationships are primarily an OR convenience for programmers, not create relationships. Your foreign key already does that. Cool. Um, Is this some cursed table name? I know the clean Uncle Bob gonna come for me on this one. What a coder in mid-roll 2026. Okay, so now we have the ability to create brands, create, um, right? So it's expecting though brand IDs via this, right? So we would have to send the brand ID. I'm gonna ask that question. So currently, when a user creates via our backend API, they have to create a brand. They have or create a product. Sorry, they have to provide the UUIDs of the associated foreign key tables. But that's kind of an issue, I guess, because the user or me primarily is going to be able to remember all those things. So would I'd either have to, get, have the front end contain those, you know, call those initially. So it'd have to my front end would have to call all of the brands, all of the categories, all the types, all the IDs, all the sizes, and keep a linkage, right, associating with the data package of the UID and the the readable actual brand string that's associated with that ID. For instance, like I don't know, Levi's is brand ID, blah 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 blah. So, or I would have to call my database, call my database in my route and 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 get the brand associated with that brand ID. But I guess the front end should already know it. That's probably what it should do because the front end needs to a way to display the human readable version Levi's, but also send to the back end that specific. I mean, or we could just receive. No, because when it loads the page, it's going to call a get brands function from our routes, like our brands router, and get all the brands. And so to then be displayed to the front end in our forum to be picked from. And those would be the human readable representations of what the brand actually is. Now, when they press submit, the form would either send the human readable brand Levi's, and then we would have to search for that brand and then find the corresponding UID and create the product, or we would have to because this is just the back end representation, right? This is the back end function. So expecting, yeah, let's do some. You reach a point where API design matters more than just the database schema. The user should never deal with UIDs directly. UID is an implementation detail of your backend. Your front end should deal with human concepts, Levi, medium, jackets, goodwill, blah, blah, blah. Your backend database should deal with brand ID, size ID, the normal pattern. Your front end loads the available options when it opens the product. Your front end loads the available option when it opens the product creation form. It gets brands. ID, okay, got you. The front end stores the associated ID in the name. And when it's selected, we send the brand ID and package it and send it to our backend. Yeah. And then we do a query via cool. Yeah, that makes sense. So I guess that's kind of something we can do now, right? Let's go ahead and do a brands router.py, right? So we'll just reference our product router here. Okay, see if we can do it now. So we're going to, from fast API, import API router. We're going to have brands route is equal to API router for quote, or prefix is going to be quote brands, and then I guess tags brands. So the brands route, we're going to have at for fixture think. Come on, you can remember it. You can remember it. We get from our brands route, right? A certain route. Is it at brands? Oh, it's a router. So yeah, it is. But we'll just make it easy on ourselves, router. And then we'll import router as something. And then so we'll do home. Then we have so this will get brands. Right, so this actually will be def. So the function that's called when this endpoint is hit is get brands. It's going to need a depends on, and we're going to have to do from fast API import depends as well on a call to from database dot session import get db, a get database call. Right. Oh yeah, sorry. Okay, and then we're gonna have session come in here from fast API. it's is it session? Okay, so get brands. So to get all of our brands, we're going to call we're going to get off by the foreign key, so I don't think we're going to do that. So a statement is equal to db dot or is equal to db so we have to do select brands. Select brand. So we're going to select brand on where. We're going to select the whole brands table. And we're going to do results. Execute the statement. Print brands. And then let's go to main. Okay, let's look at that. There it is. Try it out. Execute. Null. So it's successful, but it was null. So there's none, no brands. So we say if brands is none, let's just print no brands, right? Brands. No successful response. Brands. Let's try it. Select brands ID from brands. So would this be how you would do that? Oh, it's a result object. So the more streamlined is to do it this way. So return, you just return this db.scalars, not scalar, but scalars, plural, a select brand dot all. Okay, so you could just do a scalars, which kind of is a quicker way than the execute statement. Scalars for the selection of brand, right? What do we want to? What scalar we're trying to select? Well, we need to select brand. All of them. That would execute. That gives us an empty list. Woo! Okay, cool. Right, so now if you were to just create brand, post, right? Def create brand, right? Given data, which would be a brand create object, right? And we would just follow the same principle like that we did previously for our CRUD in products, right? So we would do this, right? We have data brand create, that gets verified. We don't need to do anything with the data, so we just have to take data via our brand and unpack it. So data.model dump, right? We have to take this, unpack it into a call to brand. That'll create a brand kind of instance that we can now add to our, you know, whatever. Right? But you probably want to make sure that the brand doesn't exist like we're doing here, right? So before you do it, so you would say db.scalar, right, of a select brand, right, where, so we're going to select brand, so in order to create a new brand, in order to create a brand, it has to have like a unique asset ID, right, or unique UUID. But the only way to verify that, you know, you're not creating a UUID, so you have to somehow verify. I guess the only way to make it do it is by via the title, right? So like for the create brand route in router.post, we'd have to verify that the brand doesn't exist first before we create it. But the only way to verify that is via the UID for complete uniqueness. Now aren't, you know, but that doesn't make sense to verify an unknown and uncreated UID against an already known one, or, you know, so I guess it would have to be applied to the actual, you know, human readable brand like Levi's, and then you would have to intuitively know not to create duplicate Levi's with like different typing, lettering, or whatever. Creating a brand the client doesn't know the UID yet. The natural unique identifier is the brand name. Normalizing the brand name so they all exist. Right, existing is brand dot, you know, where, right, and then this would be brand dot, you know, name is equal to the name of the data, right, data.name, which would be brand create, right? So that would give you a existing, right, object, scalar Python value. So existing would be there. We would have to say if existing, right? What were we gonna do? Well, we need to raise an HTTP error. So we'll need to import HTTP exception with a status code. This will also import status dot for status code is a status dot HTTP found conflict 409 not acceptable method not found forbidden payment required content too large on a teapot. Maybe like conflict. We say detail is equal to the brand with same title. So brand with the same name already exists. We would add brand db.commit db.refresh, right? And then return the brand. This adds and returns us back a brand. We can return said brand, right? What are we doing here? Oh, but whatever's unpacked, you capture, and that's what you commit and return back. Brand is here. It is. So this actually doesn't return you back anything, but maybe like a success. We'd say brand is equal to the result of this. We add said brand, and then we return and we refresh on brand like that. Okay, cool. You guys are enjoying the stream so far and the full stack programming. If you could just leave a like, it's completely free. I appreciate it. If you guys could subscribe if you want to see more. I stream almost every single day, me programming, building stuff like this, learning, reading books. It's hard to, divide our time into reading, learning, building. So I try my best, but okay, cool. So now we have a brand create is not defined. Yeah. So let's go to our models. Our schemas, this is going to be brand.py, right? And this is going to be our schema. So from pydantic import base model. So we're going to create a class called a brand. It's going to inherit from base model. We're going to have ID. It's going to be pretty similar to our product in some of these things. So brand is going to have a brand ID, a name, a created at, so brand base. I'm going to open up this product. So we're going to have a ID, which is a UUID. We're going to have a name, which is a string. We're going to have brand name. We're gonna have I think that's it. Class brand create is going to inherit from brand base. And what we're going to do is we're going to have it to create a brand. That's all you need is to provide it but you have to give it a UUID. So you don't actually give it ID, you just give it a name to create. You pass here class brand update. We'll do brand read. Given brand base. So given brand base, so brand read, so to intake it, it's going to take, we have a name, you get an ID, which is a UUID. You for sure read that. You read name, you would read created by, which is a stir. You would read created at, which is a date time, and then you would also read updated at, which is a date time as well. Right, so we're gonna go import from date time, import date time, and we're gonna do from UUID. UUID type. Okay, so that would be brand read. Now class brand update. Brand update would, you could take it from brand base. Actually, you probably wouldn't though. You'd probably take it from base model, because to update you can provide anything, or you can provide any option that we have listed, which is a stir or none, which is defaulted to none if not provided. You can update the so read would also provide you I don't know. Hey Alva, how's it going? It's me and my girlfriend, we run a clothing resale site. It was called Birdie Rose Clothes, but then we changed it to Bitter Linen, and we're kind of rebranding here and trying to make it like a. I'm trying to make it like a full stack automated site, you know, through automation of database entries, updates, and schemas through Depop and pricing and all that jazz. So it's, I have some high hopes and all planned out, but I just gotta execute on it here. But I'm gonna call it here for in just a second for today. So we got brand update, which takes it from base model, has name. That's all you would update the brand by, right? So model's brand model has ID. If we go to product model and open this one, SKU brand. A brand doesn't link to any specific like foreign table. No. So it would just be these ones. created by, and updated at. We need to import string and date, timestamp. And then we need to I'll just put this here. I'll abstract it out later. And we need a date time. Okay. So now we have brand table, which is ID created at, and then it's also going to have what? Name, which is going to be a string, or column, which is a string, and a length of, let's say, 25 characters, let's say 50 characters. Created by has a length of 50 characters. Okay, so now if we take this, throw it in here, take our brand schema, throw it in here. Get some feedback on these two guys. Your models looks good. You're at the point where you just need to decide your uniqueness strategy. Right now your brand model allows duplicates. Okay, right, so brand model name this is going to be unique true here on this guy. Oh, so a normalized name. Then you would normalize the string. So it's saying like, okay, so they have a name. Let's provide a normalized name, or a name normalized, right? Which is this. And then in our brand here, in create, instead of passing, right? Yeah. So then we have a route, brands router, which to create a brand, okay, so we need to do from brand import. So we have brand create. We would make a brand. But what you would do is you would normalize the brand first, right? So you do normalized name is equal to data dot name dot strip dot lower. Okay, normalized name. Go strip lower. We would normalize on normalize here. on normalized name rather than data, right? And then you would commit. So this would be a name for brand. And then so brand from our schema. Name normalized. Okay. Okay, cool. I think that looks good. So if we do, we would add the name brand, add commit refresh add brand. So we refresh this, we have brands, create brand, try it out, name, Levi. Brand on normalized name. Oh shoot. Brand doesn't have any named normalized. It does. Brand has no attribute normalized name. Oh. Levi's. Execute. Error. Hold on one second, I'm almost done.
That's okay, take your time.
So select brand's name, select background on this error. Column brands.name does not exist. Brands.name does not exist. I'm messing around with this. Oh, I need to reset the database. That's right. Because I changed the things we need to do. Or can I just do, what's my... Drop table brands. Okay, so then if we go $200. Nice. We got a brand. All right, now we got to rinse and repeat. Basically, for category, size, source, and type. I guess that's what maybe like AI would be good for is to like once you get one like instance of the architecture built and like fine tune the rest of the CRUD for it. If you say, okay, like look at these files and apply the same functionality to just these other tables with these fields, and then it could probably just do it automatically for you. That's something that AI is probably good for, and for that those are the tools you want to be using it for. So we did a lot. We did link, Docker, add model, add foreign key, models, and schema. We did finalized product, create, and SKU gen. Okay. Sheesh. All right, thank you guys so much for being here and joining me. This was a fun one. We got a lot done today. So tomorrow we'll continue on building out the category, the size, the source, and the type, different types of tables and the various enums that come with them. And then we will build out the schemas and then the CRUD functionalities for them to overall be able to create products. And from there, that's a huge chunk of the functionality in the back end done. We just need to then create front end stuff, and yeah, it's coming together here. So little by little. Thanks so much for being here and joining me. Please leave a like on the stream if you enjoyed, and subscribe to see you guys tomorrow. And I appreciate you guys. Shout out to Jessen, I believe it was, for the this the what was it the super chat or whatever. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for the dono. Appreciate you. You're awesome. So see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one, and I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.